Okay, this one is about for loops. So if we want something to be done repeatedly, let's say you want to, I'm just going to use the same example he used. We want to output the message attempt, but we want to have it 3 times. So we could do it this way, but that doesn't look nice in code, so there's a more elegant way of doing this, and this is for number in range, and then we do 3 here, and we do a colon, and now it will output this one 3 times, so it should be 9, which is not what I want, but I'm just going to do it. Why? Oh, does it need to be indented? I think that's it. Let's try this. Yes. Yes, it did. Yeah, 9. Okay. What we actually want is just 3. Right? So we do this. Okay. Now, the first thing that I wonder about is why is it called? Let's do. I'm just going to ask ChatGPT here. In Python, why this format? Why for number in range? Let's see what it says. Like, because for me, just logically, it could be something like repeat these many times and then you enter the number, or even repeat number 2. Why this phenomenon was designed to iterate over a sequence. That sequence can be a list for item in 1, 2, 3, a string for character in ABC, or something that generates a sequence like range. Oh, for number in range. Okay, so we have a range. The keyword in literally means take each element in this sequence. So for number in range 3 means take each number that range 3 gives me one by one and assign it into the variable number. Why use range? Range n generates a sequence of numbers starting from 0 up to, but not including n. So range 3 is okay. That's why your loop runs 3 times. Why the variable number? That's just the loop variable name. You could call it anything. For x in range print. Okay. So let's try that for x in range. Okay. For source in range. Okay, so this is completely irrelevant. This is just the loop variable name, and I can call it anything. Okay. It doesn't matter unless you actually want to use it. Gives. Okay, but wouldn't this, if I, let's just try this. So, number. Now if I run this, okay, I get it. But what if I call this source, and then I also call this source? It still should, yeah, okay. But I'm not going to call it source, just for the purpose of. So the structure is loop over a sequence. Range, open bracket, and close bracket, makes a sequence of numbers from 0 to n minus 1. Okay. The variable number holds the current element in each loop. That's fine. Okay. So I get that. Now, next. Okay, but now I do not want this to be attempt 0. I want this to be attempt 1 because it is kind of the first attempt, so as a human this makes more sense to me, and I can accomplish this by plus space 1. And now what Bada boom, bada bang. Attempt 1, attempt 2, attempt 3. Okay, now I want to know what happens if I do number plus 1, because Mosh does something different in the tutorial where he... I want to see what happens if I do this, just this step. Oh, exactly the same. Alright. And then he does this. He puts this in parentheses. Just this expression. And then he does times. And then he adds this. So, and then this is what happens. Now what happens if I remove... Oh yeah, I think it will screw up this one because it will do this one first, because it behaves like in mathematics. Multiplication comes before addition. So then, yeah, it breaks this. Because it's a integer and a string. That's... yeah. I'm gonna... But now it does the thing. Alright. Okay, now Mosh shares a kind of simpler or alternative way of creating this. So instead of here 4 number in range and then 3, which will be 3 times, right? He does 1, 2, and he defines the range 4. And interestingly enough, the range here is, like we ChatGPT just said, n minus 1. So this actually will not be 4, but 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then it ends before the 4. And then what we can do is we can remove this plus 1 here and this plus 1 here, and since we've removed the plus here, we can also remove the bracket, and it will output the exact same thing. Woo! Okay. And then if I do 10 here, it should get 10. There you go. And let's go wild. Alright. So I got 100 here. Kind of satisfying. You know what I'm doing next, right? Unsatisfying, unsatisfying, unsatisfying. Come on. Alright. I guess I broke something because it doesn't go up any further. So let's say then 200. Okay. Yeah, this is where the satisfaction starts. 164. Ooh. Nice. Actually, now I'm curious why. So, in this case, why is it n minus 1? So why doesn't it go until 200 instead only until 199? Okay, n minus 1. Okay. Because in Python range starts stop. Ah, okay. So this is the stop at is defined as all integers from start up to, but not including stop. So this range, the reasoning behind this N1 rule: consistency with indexing. Python, like many languages, uses zero-based indexing. If you have a list of length n, the valid indices are 0, n minus 1. Using an exclusive upper bound, stop not included, means range, open bracket length, open bracket my list, lines up perfectly with all valid indices of that list. Example: my list ABC for I in range length my list, print I, my list I. Output 0a, 1b, 2c. If range len mylist included the stop value, you get an index error. Mathematical neatness. The length of a range is simply stop, start. Huh? Why stop, start, and why not start, stop? Stop to start. Okay. For example, range 1 to 200, length 200 minus 1, 199. If the stop were inclusive, you'd always need to mentally add plus 1. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Composability. Using exclusive upper bounds makes it easier to chain or slice ranges. For instance, range 1 to 10. Total sense. Total sense. Range 10 to 20. Okay, together they exactly cover 0 to 19 without overlaps or gaps. Okay, if I was the creator of Python, this would be my reason. In short, Python's range stops just before the stop value because it keeps indexing clean math symbols and loops predictable. Nah, I don't need the inclusive thing. Okay, and then just learned another thing. So if we have 10, and then we can add a step value here, which is this. And then you probably guessed it, but it will output things in steps of 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 2 is 9. All right. Now I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT, teach me for loops. Python. The basic idea. A for loop in Python is used to repeat a block of code for each item in a sequence. Think of it as for each thing in this group, do something. Syntax. For variable in sequence. Do something with variable. Variable gets assigned each element in the sequence one at a time. Okay. Sequence can be a list, string, tuple, dictionary, or range, a generator of numbers. What's a tuple? Tuple Python is a collection of items just like a list, but it's immutable, cannot be changed after creation. Think of it as a read-only list. Okay. So syntax for variable in sequence. Okay. Looping with range. Example. Count from 0 to 4. For I in range 5, print I. And then this will be the output. Let's just try this. Yep. Print. Can I now do this? Yes, I'm a developer now. Example, custom start and stop. For I in range I to 6. Okay, that's the custom range and stop. We did that. So here 1, 6, and now it will count 1 to 5 again. Yep. Range start stop goes from start up to but not including stop. Okay, in example 3 with steps for I in range. Okay, and then this third argument is step size. Okay, the third argument is always step size here. Let me dealing with for loops. Looping through other sequences. Example 4, a list, fruits, apple, banana, cherry. For fruit in fruits, print fruit. For fruit and fruits, fruits is this. For fruit, print. Slightly confusing. Should be very simple, but for some reason. Okay. example 5, a string for char, like character in hello print, okay, and then output. Ha! I would have guessed that it just prints the number 5 because it has 5 characters, but instead it did this. Why? Huh. Let's ask. Why does this output this? I would think it just outputs the number of characters. 5. You would count the letters and print the number 5. That's another 5. Python sees hello as a sequence of characters. The for loop doesn't care about the length of the sequence, it cares about the items inside the sequence. So char takes each character one at a time. That's why you get, if you want the number of characters, use len. That's true. Or loop over the range of the length. Okay. For item and sequence, it iterates over the items. No, that's fine. So we have this, a string. And then a dictionary person. Okay. Name Alice, age 30. For key in person, print key. Okay. Circle output. Because this, so I haven't learned about dictionary, what a dictionary in Python is yet, but okay, I can see that it's this and this, Alice. You can put a loop inside another, nested loops. For x in range 1, 3, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. For y in range, so we print xy. So then I will do for x in range 1, 1, 1. So it's 1. Okay. I'm confused. For x in range, so what does range 1, 3 mean? Range 1 gives 1, 2. Remember, stop there. Yep. So both the outer loop x and the inner loop y go to 1, 2. That I get. How nested loops work. The outer loop starts with x1, yes. Now the inner loop runs fully. Oh, it does outer loop, inner loop, up, and then inner loop, up, and then inner loop. Okay. Okay. So, basically what it does is starts with the outer loop, 1, and it goes to the first step of the inner loop, 1, okay, and the inner loop runs fully, so it's again outer loop 1 and inner loop 2, and then the outer loop moves to the next one, and it's 2, 1, because the inner loop begins with 1, and then it's 2, 2. Alright. Got it. Intuition, the outer loop controls the row. Well, does it? The inner loop runs completely for each outer loop value. You can imagine it like coordinates on a grid. X, Y. Okay, so it's 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. So the inner loop resets and runs again every time the outer loop advances one step. Sure, give me a visual grid version. Yeah, we have that. Actually, I want to see if I really got that. So, if we had... Okay, if we have this, let's move this entire thing. And we do this, and we run this. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay. And now if we do this, what will be the output here? It would be 1. Outer loop begins, and then it's 1. And then it's 1, 2, 1, 3. And then it's 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. That should be it. Okay, and I need to... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, and then it has the 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, basically what I just did. Yeah, give me a real use. Yes. Nested loops. Okay, multiplication table. I get that. It's kind of cool that you can create a multiplication table like this. Upsala. Ha! Didn't know that about Visual Code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And it does it because for x in range 1 to 6, so 1 to 5. For y in range 1, 6, okay. Print x, y. I guess this is the... Okay, goes over my head. Game grid coordinates. Imagine you're coding a chessboard, tic-tac, or a twin that you want to coordinate. Okay. Drawing patterns. You can even draw example triangle of stars. I did that. Yeah, sure, give me a visual cheat sheet. I spent way more time than I thought here with for loops, nested loops in execution flow. For x and range, okay. 1, 1. That's fine.